Welcome to a Fresh Perspective podcast, catering to the latest in ingredient trends, consumer insights, and food news. Brought to you by Corbion.
Hello, and welcome to a Fresh Perspective podcast, the podcast where we talk about everything food. I'm Jenny Kulzer, your host, and today I'm joined by Eric Dell, the president and CEO of the American Bakers Association. Welcome, Eric.
Great. Thank you, Jenny. Great to be here. Appreciate the invitation, opportunity to be together.
I'm so happy to have you. You've only been the president for 6 months now, right? Of the ABA?
6 or 7 months, yes. So, going by quickly, though. Learning a lot.
I bet it is. How's that been going for you? What's the first 6 months been like?
I think it's been going well. Really traveling around the country and meeting with lots of folks and learning and listening over the last 6 or 7 months has been really helpful in helping me to understand, meet the key players in the industry, learn about the industry and the diversity of products in the industry, just in general, a lot about baking.
Good. Yeah, I think that would be important. And especially when it comes to, the right stakeholders and things like that. I bet you have done a lot of traveling.
A bit of travel, but it's nice because you learn when you see things, right?
Sure. And really
Hands
nothing.
on.
And I think nothing really takes the place of that face-to-face, seeing each other. I think we all learned that during COVID, right? I mean, we got to meet a lot of people through using Zoom and video chats, but that whole face-to-face connection really makes a huge difference.
Well, especially in an industry, came from working in the food and beverage industry. This industry is really close-knit, and I think those face-to-face interactions and the personal interactions are very important.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed. So as you've been traveling and learning, is it helping you to kind of develop what your vision is for the future? Or did you have that to start with? Or can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah. So I think, obviously I came with some plans, but everything kind of molds as you learn more, right? And just
Sure.
in life, that's what happens in life. So I would say the takeaways in the first couple months is the industry is really like a family. It's very family oriented. I was told when I started that it was family oriented. It's even more family oriented than I thought, which is great because I feel like I am too. People stay for their entire careers in this industry, unlike a lot other industries I've worked with where they had long tenures. But I feel like this industry, people really commit their lives to it, stay in it for their entire career many times, which means that they're really smart. They're very innovative because they know the industry, and they really care about the industry. They care about their customers. So that's been a key takeaway I think that I've had. I would say about vision and for the future and kind of what I've learned and how that's changed or how it's been complemented by what I've learned is really I'm kind of a person that leads on the front foot, tries to put the industry on the front foot. So I don't like being on defense. I like being on offense. So really a vision. We're in the middle of completing our strategic planning now. We'll be meeting on that and have been meeting on that over the past couple of months to really build what our future looks like and the vision of our future of ABA and to help promote and protect the industry. So have been working on that for a while since I started. I would say that vision, like I said, is really putting us on the front foot, looking at what our consumers, looking at what our customers want so that we can be there to meet those demands and help the industry know what those are and be ahead of the curve.
Nice.
In a couple of areas, really advocacy. My background is working in Congress and working in associations. So really reaching the next level in terms of advocacy. And networking and just increasing those member benefits, for our members at ABA.
Nice. Yeah. It sounds like you've been busy.
We're staying busy.
So you mentioned, the people that have been in the industry for a long time. And obviously they're very smart. They have to have a lot of experience if they've been in the industry for a long time. And you mentioned that they were innovative. So I'm going to skip around a little bit here, but let's talk about that innovation. What does that look like?
Yeah, I think what I've seen, well, obviously Corbion is an innovative company, right? And on the supplier side for ingredients. And I think at every stage that I've seen, the equipment manufacturers, the ingredient suppliers, the bakers, everyone has different ideas of innovation. And I've seen quite a bit, some places obviously further than others. But I think the industry is being pushed. I think the workforce challenges that we're having right now, that I'm hearing everywhere I go, are really pushing innovation as well. I think consumers and customers are pushing innovation on the ingredient side, for products that might be more organics and cleaner labels, and it just really current and future consumers looking at nutrition more closely,
Right.
looking at the labels on packaging more closely, of their products that they're consuming. So I think I'm seeing innovation in that space. Like I said, equipment space. And I think the sustainability efforts, and this goes into a kind of where my head is in pushing the industry, but really I feel like the industry's made a lot of headway in the sustainability area. However you define that, people define it differently. It has a million different definitions, right?
Right.
But I think the industry's done a lot more than what we get credit for. And we're trying to use our strategic planning process to gather a lot of that information about what the industry has done, and really talk about it and promote it to lawmakers, to regulators, to, I just have numerous examples that I see of folks with sustainability commitments and pledges and in the industry, all across the industry. So I think the industry's done a lot of good work in the innovation area. We have a long way to go.
Yeah.
But I think the interest is there to really do it.
Yeah. I think there are a lot of stories to be told that haven't been told.
I agree.
But there are a lot of things that are already happening, right, that just aren't being talked about, like you said.
Right.
And yeah, when I think about the innovation part of it, I think that people are, there's market driven innovation, but then I also think that you've got innovators that are in the industry that are looking even further out, like, okay, but what's going to be after that? Right. And that's both of those are really exciting spaces to be in.
Yeah. It's amazing. Some of the bakeries I've been in where they're really just getting deep into taking the friction out of the process, right? The baking process and the manufacturing process, and trying to streamline that process to be more efficient.
Yes.
And they're ahead of the curve, many of them.
Right. So I heard about something called Life Through the Lens of Bakery.
Right.
Can you tell me about that? What's that all about?
That was a study that we did, some research that we did, Corbion sponsored, and worked with American Bakers Association on that. Had some really good takeaways on the consumer front, with what consumers are looking for. So I would urge anyone that wants research in that space with consumer trends and in the baking industry to look at that and dissect it and get some takeaways.
Nice.
To help you with your business.
Where can they find that?
They can find that on the American Bakers Association website. Just go to their website and search in our research area.
Okay, excellent. Life Through the Lens of Bakery.
Yes, Life Through the Lens of Bakery. And this is one of the spaces where we've had a lot more requests, is in consumer research. Our members looking at more, what are the trends in consumer buying patterns in the space.
Right. So, and then that leads into my next question about like collaboration and networking. Like what role does that play in fostering growth and innovation within the industry? And then how does the ABA kind of help foster that?
Yeah, I think that's a really good question. One of the things I pride myself on is trying to create partnerships. When I worked on Capitol Hill, I always was the opinion we had Republicans, Democrats, and folks in the middle, and of all types, right? From all different political sides. And I pride myself on trying to bring people together to collaborate to create solutions for big problems. So
Nice.
what we have done is on the association space, really trying to work with others. We worked with National Grocers Association already on some issues around tray theft, with them promoting it to their members. So really partnering in the DC area with other associations in our space, I think is very important, because when you partner, you get more pull. But I think in terms of bringing the industry together, we have a fly-in coming up in November in DC to go to Capitol Hill and lobby our legislators and members of Congress. We are partnering. Something new this time is to bring all the bakers together at once. So we're partnering the retail bakers Association, also ASB. So we have ASB, RBA, and ABA all going to the Hill together. So
wow.
A really strong force on the Hill for bakers in November. So we hope everyone will join us for that 13th, 14th, 15th timeframe of November. I think it's going to be great. Really, the first time, I think, that all three organizations have been brought together of bakers, so we can tell that story and lobby the Congress on what's important for the industry. And tell, like you said, tell our story.
Tell our story, right? And what a great group of people to do it all together in one place, right?
Right. Yeah. So it'll be fun and be impactful.
Yes, absolutely. So I can't believe this, but we're already running out of time. We have time for one more question.
Okay.
So for ABA members who really want to contribute and support our industry's growth that might be listening today, what would you recommend as the most effective way for them to get involved?
Yeah, I think there are a couple of ways that I would recommend for them to get involved. First of all, we're updating all of our governance, which kind of gets a little wonky when people talk about governance and serving boards and those kind of things.
Is it a bad word?
It's not a bad word. It's just kind of wonky, right? So folks who are interested in serving in the leadership of ABA, I think we're going to see more opportunities for that on our board. As we look at how the board serves. So I would urge folks to be in touch with us if they're interested in serving in the leadership of ABA. The other thing is we have our groups, our professional groups that are very valuable. We have our F-Track, which is our tracks our federal regulatory and legislative work. What we're really trying to do at ABA is get deeper into the organizations, our member organizations, find those HR professionals, find those safety professionals, the sustainability professionals, and feed them into our working groups so that we get the benefit of those experts and it benefits the entire industry. So what I would say is the way to get involved, the best way I think is the professional groups. Adds value to your business as a member of ABA, but also the more inputs we get, obviously, the more value we can provide to the entire industry. And obviously our events like our fly-in coming up that I already mentioned in November is just crucial. It's crucial. Advocacy is so crucial to have our members involved, and then our annual convention and those other networking activities, which are important.
Yeah, absolutely. So okay, I'm going to ask one more question because I want to. If you were to name one significant growth opportunity for anybody listening, or two, I mean, I want one. What would you say?
So, growth opportunities in terms of the baking industry I think from my takeaways over the last 6 or 7 months, I think what we're seeing at ABA is a diversification of our membership in terms of what their offerings are. So we're seeing a lot more diversity in terms of we have folks who obviously traditionally bread, buns, and rolls, right? We're seeing a lot more diversification into the sweet goods area, into those the cake and other items. So I think that diversity is an opportunity for bakers to maybe diversify their portfolio as to what consumers are looking for. I think we need to look in retail and food service space and promote more products. For example, I had talked to someone in the sweet goods and side with growth opportunities in food service. Let's look for opportunities where we can promote more baking in food service areas on menus where they may not be. So those kind of opportunities are, I think, there. And ABA wants to be there to support that. And I think our strategic plan, we can look at those opportunities and build them out, and then over the next 3 years implement.
Excellent. Thank you so much for being here today. It's been a pleasure talking.
Thank you. It's been great.
All right. That's all the time we have. Don't forget to preserve what matters.
Thank you for listening to a Fresh Perspective podcast brought to you by Corbion. Until next time, preserve what matters.